excuse me.
Oh,
That's because I moved everybody's
he
seats.
moved everyone around.
It's my fault. I make a motion to call the meeting to order.
You don't need a motion.
You see me looking at Rita. She's my emotional support town clerk. Rita, can you start us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. The meeting tonight is, I think it projects enough. We're going to dedicate our February town board meeting to our highway department. Jim, Chris, Rob, James, Jesse, Zach, Sean, Brandon, and Carrie, thank you for your hard work you do every single day to keep our roads safe and our community moving. Through snow, storms, long nights, and early mornings, their commitment does not go unnoticed. The condition of our roads and the safety of our residents are a direct reflection of their dedication and professionalism. Carrie's organization and support behind the scenes help keep the department running smoothly, and on behalf of the town board and our residents, we're grateful for everything they do every day. It's not been easy these last couple weeks. Sorry. It's been tough. Yeah. And there were a lot of calls with the county when the big snowstorm came in, and I was very, very impressed by how well coordinated the county response was. I felt super informed, and in turn I felt like I could inform the community very well, and as a result there were no incidents at all. There were a couple of accidents, but no fatalities, and you know, unfortunately that cannot be said for the rest of the country in this weather. Rita, you want to start us with the roll call?
Julia Dakota.
Here.
Charlie Cunningham.
Here.
Eric Hames.
Present.
Nathan LaVirtue.
Flu.
Absent. Flu.
Teddy Secor.
Here.
Who wants to make a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make it.
There you go, Teddy.
I second that emotion. That emotional agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town board liaison reports. We'll start at the top.
So the ZBA did not meet this month. Again, like, I don't really suspect anybody would want to do anything in this weather. So the ZBA did not meet this month nor last month. There might be a meeting next month, depending how things are. The CSC, Climate Smart Communities, we met briefly. We didn't really have a quorum, so we kind of just discussed what was happening, you know, and kind of did a brief overview, but we did no action. We couldn't really work. The Haunted Fortress, we rescheduled the meeting from earlier in the month to last night, though, because the ZBA didn't meet, so we had the room. And we actually had a lot to talk about. The scenes for the Haunted Fortress have pretty much been cemented, so going forward, it's a matter of getting those done. We've been bringing up the discussion again about getting Wi-Fi to the ticket booth, so people can use card at the ticket booth. We're also thinking about actually getting internet and what the process of that would be for the site, because that is like a safety issue we've been thinking about. Without public internet, something happens, God forbid, and we don't have cell service. I mean, you know, we don't have cell service in the town, so these are things we've been really considering. And we have had some incidents before, thankfully, where it's like, oh, you got a cut, but if someone breaks their leg, like, we're kind of like in a bind there.
There's no router down there, Teddy?
There is a router at the highway department, but there's apparently regulations regarding, because it's a different property than the highway department technically. There's a lot behind there was a whole discussion about why we haven't had a router in the ticket booth yet. So we're gonna be pursuing that and seeing what the reality of that is. It shouldn't be really too expensive to get. The other thing we were talking about was social media presence and having a different website. I know that'll be something we're talking about as the board, but as the Haunted Fortress, how can we improve our website so that it's more accessible for people and more reliable in transmitting information. I know this is like advertising, at an applesauce company. This is like really boring stuff, but this is like the reality of where we're at in this stage in the season. So we did also finally set our dates for work, so we will have those solidified within like probably the next month, but we're looking at 6 weekends from June to August.
Okay.
And then September, it's pretty much going to be every weekend where we're going to be down there working.
How many weekends are in the schedule for the Fortress this year? Because I know last year was only like 4 weekends.
We're going to, thank you for bringing that
Okay.
up. We're only going to do 4. The 5th weekend in November is Halloween, and we will not be doing anything that weekend.
Okay.
Maybe in the future we'll be doing something on Halloween at the haunted house. It would be really nice. There's no trick-or-treating in this area, so, but that's down the road. So it's going to be the first 4 weekends. Our times are going to stay the same, and we're not adjusting ticket prices either, so it will still be $10 for children and senior citizens. You don't need to show us your AARP cards. And it will be $15 for an adult. So
Okay.
that's it.
Thank you.
The planning board, excuse me, the planning board met on January 28th. The meeting was in honor of member Chris Flynn, who had passed away. Tom Angel said some really nice remembrance for Chris at the meeting. There was a public hearing. It was a lot line alteration for 43 Homan Road in Stanfordville. It was an adjustment to revise the shared boundary between 2 lots that were owned by the same owner. There were no comments at the public hearing. The public hearing was closed. The only item for business that night was the same lot line alteration at 43 Holman Road. It was type 2, no Secor required. There was a motion to approve, passed, so it got approved. The owner got their new plot plan for the shared boundary between the 2 lots. The next meeting's going to be February 25th. In terms of short-term rentals, just an update. We now have 32 active listings in the town. There were 34 active listings. 2 listings have been taken down, so there are only 32. 14 permits have been issued for units, so those are compliant units. That leaves 18 non-compliant short-term rentals in the town. The first warning letter was sent out a few weeks ago, so we're waiting to see if we get any more permit applications. We have a second, more serious warning letter that we will send out at some point in the future when the board decides, not the second one.
Oh, we only sent the one?
Only
Okay.
sent the first. We sent the welcome letter initially, letting everyone know that they need a permit and they need to come in and apply. Then we sent the first warning letter, probably was in mid-January because the law took effect January 1. The second warning letter, I would think, would probably go out next month, but
Yeah.
we have to talk about it as a board and make a decision when to send it. And that's a more serious letter. So if you haven't come in yet and gotten your permit, please do so. The 18 non-compliant owners.
And I just want to let, just so that it's on the record, because we have had a bunch of people reach out. It was our first time doing a mailing in December. And the way that Granicus logs all of the short-term rentals is they log anyone that has historically shown up on a short-term rental site ever. And in our town, that represents about 120 properties. And the interface of the website is not that easy. So when we sent our welcome letter out, instead of sending it to 34 people, we sent it out to like 120 people. And so we did get a lot of feedback from people, and I think that prompted them. There were some that were up there that people didn't even know about. So there were people that took their listings down because they didn't realize that they were up there. So we think we had issued in the local law 55 short-term rental permits. Currently there are 32 active listings. there's plenty of delta there. And we know that in the summer, the activity picks up quite a bit. So when Granicus had done a sweep last summer, they had found 51 short-term rentals. So very seasonal in terms of how these properties go on and off. We haven't had any issues with feedback. We do have a compliance monitoring hotline on the website if there are any complaints. Our building department hasn't heard of any yet, so let's knock on some proverbial wood, because it's all going pretty smoothly from when we started it. Thanks, Eric.
You're welcome.
Charlie?
All right, so the Water Quality Committee had their first meeting of the year on January 21st. We focused on just an update on the grant application process, which, as far as I know, we can hear about it as early as March, but as late as early summer.
Yeah.
So got a little bit of a window there. Also talked about just what the year one timeline would look like. So there's some discussion around that. We also talked about outreach strategies for how to, one, not only gather feedback from other town committees and also create some kind of either a FAQ or a deck or things like that to help just kind of advertise about what our goals are with the Water Quality Committee. So that is being discussed internally over the next, I think, couple of months as they get that together, and then we're working on scheduling those meetings out to meet with the other committees, being the planning board, zoning, etc. And then there's also a few open seats available. So if you're interested in being part of the Water Quality Committee, that would be reach out to Rita, I think. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else I missed?
There's a lot. Water's a hot topic in the state. Everyone knows it. There has been, just sort of zooming out, there has been activity at the AOT level, because the standards that have been put in place for towns that have aging infrastructure, a lot of the infrastructure that was put in the late 90s, which does correlate to when the town first did sort of a water quality study, and it was determined that the town did not want to put in centralized water after doing the testing because it wasn't really necessary. But a lot of towns during that time in New York State went through it. They have aging infrastructure that is now sort of, let's call it below code. And so, but there's no funds to overhaul that, and there is no support to do that either. And so there's been a big push on towns and just sort of water protections in general, because they're like, look, if we are forcing towns, if we had historically forced towns to put infrastructure in place that now they cannot manage as a tax base, we have to do a better job at the New York State level of protecting natural water sources. And so you can see a lot of legislation that is going through at the state Senate level, at the Assembly level, a lot of push to go and protect water sources. The Saltkill is a big one that is sort of up over in Red Hook and Rhinebeck. And for where we sit right now, the Wappingers Creek watershed is not considered a public drinking water source, even though it supplies, I believe, like half of the ground drinking water to the residents of Stanford. So our hope in doing this work is that we can sort of reinvigorate the sentiment around water quality and like natural water quality, so that we don't have to install anything at the local level, and we can put strategies in place for places where there might be some concerns about the quality of the drinking water. There are options available for towns in terms of remediation. So we're trying to keep away from having to do anything about costly infrastructure. We're trying to get in front of it in terms of education and understanding what we are working with. And we're trying to also, and a lot of this is sort of TBD with the grant that we're going to get, because the grant will only take us to about 3 years out, which will basically give us like, here's all the information, right? And then what we end up doing with that information is another juncture. And so at the end of the 3 years, we'll have a good sense of, if we get awarded the grant, what is the quality of the water? And it's going to probably be the same methodology as they did in the 90s, where they tested specific parts of Stanford's aquifers. I meant like all across the different zones and all across the different districts. But they got a pretty good sense at that point of, whether there were contaminants in the water, things like that. So anyway, And in 3 years, that will get us to a point of where we have a good sense of what does the water quality look like in specific pockets of town. And then we're hoping at that point that 3 years in, we've also gained enough sort of networking with other towns that they understand and we can sort of start to form partnerships. And when you form partnerships and intermunicipal agreements, more funding sources open up for you. So that's kind of our hope. Okay? All right. My turn. Okay.
Yep.
My turn. The Conservation Advisory Committee met last month. One of the big focuses for the year is really looking at the dog policies at the preserves. Specifically, there was some work that was done at Lovett Preserve. They relocated a kiosk and they added some educational signage about leash requirements, wildlife protection, and pet waste cleanup. They installed some signage last week, and the goal is to encourage positive behavior and recognize preserve volunteers. Buttercup Sanctuary has a cleanup event on February 23rd, weather permitting. There will be additional volunteer opportunities promoted via social media. There was a Greenway discussion, and there was some discussion around the town's prior decision not to join the Greenway Compact. There was a call last week with the county where I was on and a member of the CAC was on, and we were just looking to understand sort of what is the state of the Greenway. And the way the county had talked to me about it and Janet was that the Greenway, if you're, as members of the Greenway Compact, there are funding opportunities, specifically around things like preservation funding and master planning. They were not able to, and this is where, you know, I think a lot more research needs to be done if we want to even consider going down the route of putting the Greenway Compact back on the table in terms of cons. They were not able. I said, you know, is there any issue with like home rule? And they said, no, really, it's up to the town to enforce the compact to the degree that you want to enforce it. And so they were not able to give me any cons, but they gave me several other, it's important to note that Stanford is the only town of 30 in Dutchess County that are not members of the Greenway Compact. So that makes us ineligible for specific funding opportunities that are available at the state level. And there are maps about the Greenway Compact, and the county has put me in touch with the latest member to join the Greenway Compact, which was a town in a county that, God bless, I cannot pronounce.
Rensselaer?
No, I'm joking. It was like a town name that I can't pronounce, but it's like, you know, it's not Valatia, but it's like something similar to that. Anyway, they're going to put me in contact, and I just want to do a little bit more research because I think there have been opportunities that may have been missed, but there are lots of considerations for the town on why we initially opted out of joining the compact.
Is that why we couldn't participate in the DLC?
So it's anecdotal, but from what I've heard, there are preservation opportunities that there are bridges to funding that the compact allows you, if you're a member of it, if you want to put your land into preservation, there are bridges that the compact will put together grant funding for you. And we have missed some of those opportunities. Anecdotally, this is what I've heard, but I have not seen anything in writing. So my goal is we're all, I think, very committed to being very data-driven here on the board and just presenting data and making sure everyone knows sort of pros and cons before we do anything, okay? Wappingers Creek, there's going to be a water sampling tentatively planned. This is by the CAC. They're going to make it an educational component in the spring for youth. So they want to do a little bit of like cute testing in the Wappingers Creek behind the rec and make it an educational opportunity about microorganisms in the water. Fire commissioners, I attended the meeting on the 13th of January with our two, you were there, our two justices were there. The Honorable Justice Smith and the Honorable Justice Bucall. There was a review of the recent fire event. There was discussion about EMS service, which I'll get to in a moment. And there were some radio issues identified and under review. The next meeting of the fire commissioners is next Tuesday on the 17th at 7 p.m. Teddy will be attending in my stead because I will be at annual AOT training. Those are the liaison reports. The supervisor's report. I'll just give a couple of things that have come across my desk this past month. It's been busy. EMS ambulance update. We have been receiving monthly service reports from Empress. I'm now on the distribution list after meeting with Tim Gifford through the Ambulance Advisory Board, which is the same group of people that are on the fire commissioners, that are the fire commissioners here, the fire commissioners board. In January, there were 21 total calls. According to the reports, there were 21 total calls. All were answered. 2 calls exceeded a 20-minute response time. One of the things that I want to do is obviously work very closely with Chris Drago on just ensuring that we have sort of a proper feedback loop between not only here internally, what's happening at the fire department here at the town where we own the contract, but also Empress to ensure that service concerns are received, logged, and addressed in the event that there are any. And then he can feed that back to the county, because there is a county planning that is going on based on some developments that came out of Albany, where Governor Hochul last December has asked all of the counties to come up with a county-wide plan. That EMS plan was originally due to come out to all of the municipalities on June 19th. That has since been pushed to November. Dutchess County utilizes many EMS models. There's self-service, there's fire districts that are union and volunteer-based. Some of them have private contracts, some of them have agreements with other towns. The county wanted to make it clear that they will not be funding EMS, so it will continue to be a town-led initiative. But what they did talk about, and they started to talk about, which is good, are long-term options. So are there any shared services agreements that they would recommend at the county level? So right now, we don't have a shared service agreement. The town of Northeast has a shared service agreement. The town of Milan does not have a formal contract in place. The town of Pine Plains does not have a formal contract in place. Will there be shared service agreement recommendations coming from the county? There was also a long-term option of partnership with Northwell, and Rita, I can give you all these. The partnership with Northwell, as well as, you know, sort of what happens if Governor Hochul or whoever is governor designates EMS as an essential service in the state. So when it is designated as an essential service, that changes the categorization, and the state takes on more of that burden. Those are all conversations that are happening. According to a lot of people, these have been conversations that have been happening for the last 40 years. So, but we're going to continue to have them. Veterans. Ann Liebling has been doing a fabulous job just starting out as the liaison for Veterans Affairs. She has planned a Veterans Mobile event at the Stanford Free Library on Friday, March 20th from 1 to 4. There you can talk to representatives from the local Veterans Outreach. What is her name? Mary Beth, who came and visited us a couple of months ago. She'll be there, and any sort of concerns that people might have around benefits. Veterans can also register for a favor discount card. Ann is going to be leading the charge in approaching local businesses for discounts for veterans, which is great. School district board met last week. They're forming a committee, as many people have heard, and they may request participations from representatives. This is what was said and published coming out of that meeting. I'll just be honest, I have not been formally approached. I'm collecting some names of community members who have expressed interest in joining the committee, though. And I'm passing those along accordingly. The Plus One ADU grant program has reopened. Information is available in the newsletter and on the town website under Important Town Information on the homepage. Finances. We are in the middle of our fiscal year closeout. The town, I will reemphasize, is in a very healthy financial position. Tax collections are on schedule, and all payments are due by February 28th. I can see that we are collecting them because I have all the bank accounts. So thank you, Charles. Assessments are expected by mid-April, and Mr. Godovich in the assessor's office requests that all exemption requests come to him by March 1st. Right now, we're also just gotten started, and that's the first item on our agenda, is the annual financial review process. The first results have been compiled by Ted Eglett, our auditor. Overall findings, which we will go through tonight. All cash receipts have matched bank deposits. Deposits were made in a timely manner, and disbursements were timely and accurate. For the town clerk, receipts matched monthly deposits. pre-numbered receipts used sequentially, no unusual transactions, thank you, Rita, and the account reconciled to zero at year end, as required. For the justices, receipts matched monthly court reports, monthly certifications were signed by all the justices, thank you, gentlemen. Settlement reports properly documented town versus state county funds, bail account reconciled accurately, no unusual transactions. Justice Bukal ended the year with a $0 balance. Justice Smith ended the year with a $2.89 carryover balance.
Oh, damn. I don't know why the guy's not out.
And with that, I will make a motion to enter the first privilege of the floor.
I'll second it.
Go ahead.
Advertising. I just wanted to let people know that.
You have to say your name and your address. Maida.
Maida Bloomberg at 91 Willowbrook Road.
There you go.
Clinton Corners. The Stanford, a Caring Community, and the Stanford Grange are sponsoring what we're calling a winter feast. It's meant for people to get out of their cabins and have some fun. Food is free. Hopefully there'll be music and you'll be able to connect with your neighbors. What I'm asking for, and this is not required, is if anybody would like to participate and donate any of their family recipes and bring food, thank you, Julia. We could use dessert, we could use food, we could use vegetables, anything that you want,
So
just let
fun.
me know. And
What's
should
the,
be fun.
what's the
So
date?
It's on February 28th from 1 to 4
Yes,
February 20th.
at the Grange.
yes.
28th.
Yep,
The 20th?
The flyers in the newsletter.
Yeah.
1 to 4.
Anyone else? Judith?
Not even about verdict cars.
I just had a curiosity question about water quality. Is it going to take into account commercial use of water in the community? I mean, somebody who sells water for ponds, for pools. Is that a consideration?
Are you talking about the outfit on,
That's what I was thinking of, but there might be more, because I've seen there are a lot more trucks than there used to be.
there's, from my understanding, and Bob, you probably know this better, there's one commercial contract with a homeowner where they do fill up utilizing the water source. There have been other sort of, right now, without the grant in place, and that grant is focused around quality. You might be thinking about more quantity.
Because quality ends up with quantity,
Sure.
because it's a limited aquifer.
Yeah. What we're going to do in sort of the beginning part of, or what the committee is going to do in the beginning part of the work is a discovery and a problem definition. They haven't done a formal problem definition yet, and they're sort of at the point where they're trying to just do sort of informal discovery with committees and things like this. So Charlie's writing down like, okay, like commercial enterprises in the town, like Mashomick was another one that was sort of mentioned to me, Mashomick Polo Grounds. So I think yes, and it's going to be part of the discovery process where people come and they'll say, hey, do we know about this or that? And look, I don't think anyone wants it to be a sentiment of we want to get anyone in trouble. I think it's a matter of we just want to know sort of what we're working with.
Yep, and mine was really a curiosity question.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I'll make a motion to close privilege of the floor.
Second.
Yes. All right, we're now going to move to the approval of the books of the town justices. So it looks like, did you guys draw straws?
Age before beauty?
I don't know.
Gentlemen.
It's still here.
He's the senior one, so.
Yeah. Sure, okay. Well, we could actually do them together if you want.
Yeah, I know.
Now we've got
See, he's
to.
carrying.
I love this. This is like my favorite part, because then you're like, OMG.
Well, unfortunately, the court clerks are under the weather, so that's why we're both here.
Yeah. This is, Carolyn is my clerk with Patty's Dennis's. I hate to use the first name, Dennis. So you think, yeah. Okay, what we usually do is we have you examine, because that's the legal thing they have to do, you have to examine the
Correct.
board.
Yep.
So, here we are, get started.
Thank you.
And what I'll do here, this is just a slight process change, is Carolyn uses the computer and uses the computers to enter the data. That's all it is. This is the December one. I could give, you could take a look at those.
Every month, yeah, you guys.
Everything I've got.
I've been there, they're busy.
Everything is right there, and you guys got any questions? Throw them at us. We'll make it up.
How much paper do you use again?
Oh,
But you have to buy the books.
yeah.
That's just, right, so it kind of neutralizes everything.
Thank you.
Hey, Teddy, it's funny you talk about the paper, because we've been striving to do a lot of stuff online, to try to save postage, paper,
Yeah.
envelopes, everything like that. And
McGill is our
unfortunately,
prosecutor.
the state is
He's
very
good.
slow at changing.
Very
So if anybody's gotten a ticket before,
What's the highest
on
one?
the side of the ticket is where you enter your plea. And while you enter your plea, either guilty or not guilty, there's a spot for your address. Why not add a spot for email address and a phone number? Because we waste a lot of postage and a lot of paper because we send it to the address on record and they've changed and they don't notify anybody. So people won't normally change a phone number or email address, so it would facilitate us saving money, but actually getting the process moving a lot more,
Streamlined.
efficiently.
Yeah.
You know, so,
Much better.
have any pull with DMV, have them change the.
There's a lot. It's so interesting when you start to like scratch, not scratch, but even just listen,
Yeah.
you see so many areas for process improvement. And one of them is like with the RFP process and the notice process, like right now, Patrick's sitting back there, he's like, I wish I don't have to do anything else, but like everyone's talking about adding more to like emails because it's a lot of money, it's millions of dollars for us, not us, but towns to file in like the Poughkeepsie Journal, like because we have to. It doesn't necessarily reach the right
I'm
people.
keeping it
So,
together.
On the fines, do the county or the state get any of
Yes, or
the
that.
income? Or is it purely to the
The way the
town?
fine works is the fine schedule is determined by the state legislature.
Right?
So they establish the minimums and maximums, they establish the surcharges.
Uh-huh,
Because we have a 3-mile section of the parkway,
right.
the way the law reads is any ticket off the parkway, the town gets the entire fine. So that's why we, have a good amount of revenue
Right.
from the parkway.
Right.
If it's a local ticket on a local road.
Yes.
I think the town gets like $5.
$5.
And then the
Oh, is
state-
that right?
State gets the
Yes.
rest,
State gets the rest.
and the state gets the surcharge.
Right.
interesting, I didn't realize that was the mix.
Well, the state has to pay the troopers and buy the police cars and all of that, right?
Yeah, true.
We don't contribute to that.
Well, it's funny because that's something totally different. That's apples and oranges. Because all the fine money goes into the general fund. It doesn't, and then they spend it however they want. But
That's
Where do you
true.
get the money?
Yeah.
Taxpayer.
Yes. Yep.
See, it all comes full circle.
So
Yeah, it all
Nope.
comes full circle.
Or on top
It
or,
was on top.
Cool.
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
Thank you, Justice Smith.
Thank you.
Thank you, and,
Very interesting.
Now you've got to make a motion to accept
oh, yes.
the books as presented.
Oh, yes.
Each one individually
Yes,
or collectively?
yes,
Each one individually.
yeah.
I make a motion to accept the books of Justice Dennis Smith.
I will second it.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make more money.
Dr. Justice Honorable. You want to make the next one?
Go ahead, then.
All right, so Patty has
Each
this set up a little bit differently than Carolyn does.
Even more paper.
So again,
Unbelievable.
these are, each folder is by month.
Yep.
And this is like the closing balance for 2025 and then the cash book. I can just basically recap my activity as far as annual to date revenue from my court was $387,926.
In 2025.
in 2025. And that was down 45,000, that was down $45,599 from 2024.
Yeah.
All right, but I started keeping track last year of our civil judgments. And I addressed this last year, where, because of change in the bail reform laws, the courts can no longer suspend people for failing to pay the fines. So as long as they answer the ticket, and they're assessed a fine, and they forget about it and say, nope, not paying it, it has to go to civil judgment, which creates more work for the court clerks, more work for us, more work for the DA's office, and then they have to file it with the county clerk, and it pretty much goes
Just
nowhere.
round.
Yeah.
So just my court alone for 2025, we have $64,723 in civil judgments.
Give us their names and addresses.
Which you don't think we'll ever see? Or a portion of it?
3 people paid last year.
Are you kidding me?
After the civil judgments were filed, only 3 of them came in.
And they're still able to drive?
We cannot suspend their license for failing to pay a fine anymore.
Wow.
Now, in the past, once they got the notice.
Don't you get any ideas, boys?
Once they got the notice that we're gonna be suspended for failing to pay the fine,
They come in and
they
pay.
beat down the door of the court
course.
to pay it off.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's your
Wow.
state legislature changing the bail reforms, and because, whatever, that's their thing. Did you wanna look at months, or?
I don't need to, I've
But
seen
they
them.
do lose the
I've held
points
them to my body.
on the license.
If they take a plea to something with points, the points go on license. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of reductions are to, like, parking on the parkway, or
Right.
parking within 15 feet of a fire hydrant.
Right.
And
Which we don't
No-
have.
No points.
Oh, we do, we got 2 out front.
That's true, that's true. You're right. Sorry.
But it's semantics, because it's just a reduction to try to help the people out to save points.
Right.
But also the fine is a lot higher for, and of course the town gets the fine.
Right.
And the court is not about generating revenue for the town, so it's like, but it happens, it's a byproduct.
It
of
works
what we
both
do,
ways.
so.
Yeah.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the books of Justice Bukal.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Rita Mary?
Well, I have
Thank you.
Katrina's on top.
Great.
So Katrina was
Floor's always
unable
open
to
if you
come.
ever have
Yeah.
questions.
So
Thank
that's
you.
her-
So these are Katrina's books. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, gotta keep the troopers happy.
That's true.
That's right.
These are Katrina's books, so she took in, her budget last year was, well, I shouldn't say their budget.
Right.
Their revenue in the budget was $140,000. They took in almost $164,000.
So she exceeded budget.
They exceeded their budget.
Yep.
And she'll give you a monthly report every month with all of the
Yes.
permitting.
That'll be in your mailbox. Timber harvest.
Yeah, exactly. Beth, blessing of the bicycles, please. I hope that all the tax revenue comes in.
She's got STRs now.
Read, but we don't have to,
Oh, wait.
we're not approving hers.
Well, 10.
No?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
you should.
Let's do it.
She had all the
I mean,
years.
she got a glowing report. I mean, we should approve it, add it to our record of,
Katrina's not part of the formal scope on the audit.
oh, I thought you meant Rita Mary.
Rita Mary, yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, she has not been a part of it, but, so she was not part of the engagement letter historically, but I told her I was like, let's add you to the party. And she was like, great. So she'll be added next year.
Yeah, no.
So we don't have to do a motion to approve?
You should.
You should anyway?
Yep.
Move down the line.
Yeah, I will make a motion to approve the building department's books.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I will return this.
Okay. So, every month I'll be giving you, or have given you, monthly reports, but this is my annual report, which actually matches exactly with what the auditor said.
Yeah. Zero balance.
Yep. Every month I take in money and I distribute it all. So every month it goes down to 0. I maintain 2 checkbooks. One checkbook is my town clerk account. All the money goes in there for the month. Then at the very end of the month, I transfer my hunting and fishing money, decals money, into my decals account. And then the decals sweeps my account mid-month, what they feel they are owed, which is always right, and I give the supervisor whatever's left. I have all my bank statements for the 2 accounts, all my deposits. Look at them.
Like a dream.
And then this is all my paperwork for the year. This, and I don't even have my cash book with me because I used it today. This is like the computer version of my cash book. But I have to maintain a handwritten cash book as well, which is just a duplicate of that every single day. And I have all my monthly reports, but what I gave you is just a summation of everything. And that's it.
So you sold 4 bumper stickers last year.
4 of them, I was so excited.
$1 each.
And 25 marriage
I
certificates.
see that.
Yep.
Look at all the death certificates.
And
Fax service.
The what?
2 fax service.
Every once in a while, we do a fax
I see that.
and a couple copies.
I didn't know you
now.
did laminating.
Well, it used to be a big item in my office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before DEC, the hunting and fishing, changed to plain paper licenses. We used to have those long skinny Velcro ones. And I had these perfect little laminating cards to fit.
Right.
Can't use them anymore. So,
It's too bad.
it is.
You know you can't laminate your birth certificate or your social security cards.
That's correct.
Found that out the hard way.
Same.
Yeah, that's nice.
Same.
Anybody have any questions?
No, having served as deputy town clerk for 2 weeks years ago, I'm in the know on the process.
And
It's
we
been-
issue about 50 to 60 handicap parking permits every year.
Right.
I'll just tell you anecdotally, it's been a pleasure working with all of the people who handle all of the money, because it is not easy
Thank you.
by any stretch of the imagination.
We try hard.
You do, and we appreciate it.
So now we have to
I'll make the motion to approve the books of the town clerk for the year 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right.
Pass Katrina.
Thank you, thank you.
Yep.
The next item on the agenda is appointing Jenna Court as the new program assistant rec leader. So we added a line item in the budget last year for programming. It's a lot of work. Lauren's been doing a ton in getting grants, building out programming. All of that creates opportunities for young people in our community to get together. It's a wonderful thing that we've been doing over the last several years, expanding out our rec program. So we created a new role last year that the town board met with the candidate that we are going to bring on board, Jenna Court. So I would like to make a motion to, Jenna's on the Board of Trustees for the Pine Plains Library. She's a local mom. She grew up in the area. She's perfect. She's a good friend of Lauren. And so they're all really excited. They have a really high-functioning, well-run team over there. So we're excited to bring her on board. I'll make a motion to appoint Jenna Court as the new program assistant rec leader.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This next one we've been talking about, if you were here in the January meeting, we had a gentleman that we appointed as the interim building inspector for 2026. He has since left us to go back to Antarctica. James will be sorely missed. It was sort of the running joke. I'm like, is it cold enough for you? He did a fabulous job
warmer
for us
there.
while he was here. He will be very sorely missed. And he did a great job in Don Smith's absence. Don Smith has been out since early December due to a personal fall and subsequent spinal surgery. I spoke to him this morning, and he's going to come in next Wednesday.
Oh, good.
He's now walking with a cane. But we still have to hire and bring on an interim building inspector. Long story short, there are not many building inspectors in the county of Dutchess. It is a long, laborious process to get certified, and many of the building inspectors are servicing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 towns. There is a major pipeline issue for building inspectors. I am very glad that Don is coming back. because our alternative is to appoint the interim building inspector, which is a consulting firm called Z3. They're highly efficient, but they're not particularly invested in the community in the sense of like outlining process improvements, sort of getting involved in the day-to-day. They are a consulting firm that fills in when towns do not have a building inspector. And this firm is used across multiple towns across the county: East Fishkill, Red Hook, LaGrangeville. They're highly recommended. So Don and James, who were working 40 hours every 2 weeks, we have the budget for 12 hours every 2 weeks. So the service levels in the building department, we appreciate everyone's patience, but it is going to be building inspections, some office work. We're lucky that it's winter because we don't have as much activity right now. But just one thing, and we are very hopeful that Don will be able to come back at full capacity at the end of February, and we'll take it from there. So I make a motion to appoint Z3. The gentleman's name is Tom Keith as our interim building inspector.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Eric, do you want to take this next one?
Sure. I'd like to, so the planning board has a vacancy, actually had 2 vacancies. The planning board met with Rick Antonoff last month and interviewed him, and seems like a good guy and a really good fit. He's very interested in planning board and getting involved. So the planning board would like the town board to appoint him to fill one of the 2 open positions for planning board. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Rick Antonoff to the planning board.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 This next one is, and just to note, there is one more opening on the ZBA. I think we do have applicants that have expressed interest in that, but because the ZBA hasn't met, they have not appointed that vacancy.
And isn't there one more spot on the
Planning
zoning
board.
commission?
Right, so it's on the agenda.
Yeah.
All right. The next item on the agenda is some building permit refunds. We don't typically do these, but we are doing them in edge cases, one of which was a permit fee which was doubled due to starting work on the home without a permit from the county. The county in this case took about 6 months to issue a Board of Health approval. And in an effort to try to get framing up before the massive snowstorm, the homeowner started work on the property. The building inspector, James, had some conversations with them, and he made a determination and asked us to refund the penalty, which was $1,806, which is a pretty significant penalty. It's basically double the permitting fee. So there is one request for the town board to approve the $1,806 refund, and the other was for an alarm permit that was purchased by a homeowner, but is actually not an alarm permit. It was a carbon monoxide permit. So it was purchased from the building department in error, and the building department made a request that we refund that permit. So I'll make a motion to refund 2 permits, permit fees, $1,806 and $100 by the building inspector's office.
I second that.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
You want to go with this one, Teddy?
For the,
Can I step back from this?
You can recuse
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
yes, so, no, I know, I got it. So there was, and technically right now, there is an opening on the zoning commission, but the board, having discussed with the zoning commission and discussing it amongst ourselves, we found it would be pertinent to appoint someone who has experience with this type of area. So I would like to make a motion to appoint Charlie Cunningham to the zoning commission.
I'll second.
It should also be noted that Charlie was going to serve as liaison for the board anyway, so it makes sense that he also serve on the commission.
And because Wendy is no longer supervisor, Eric is currently on the commission, and Charlie's on the commission, so 2 town board members. It's actually a request of the zoning commission that more town board members are involved to avoid any back and forth with the town board, as we sort of witnessed with ADU and right to farm. So it's an effort to sort of optimize the process a little bit better.
Yep.
All in favor, except you are going to abstain.
Abstain.
Well, I'm voting yes.
Aye.
Thanks for the heads up.
I'm good, I'm good.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is a simple motion to request, to approve Stanford, a caring community, to use the indoor auditorium for an indoor flea market for March 14th. I'll make a motion to approve that request.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next is the rest of the appointments and liaisons. So I believe there are 4. I will make, do I have to make them as separate motions?
No, you can just state this.
Okay.
Because these are your appointments.
Great. So now that Nathan has joined the board, we are going to appoint him as the liaison to the Rec Commission and to the Transfer Station. And I will appoint myself as the Investment Policy Officer?
No, you're going to be insurance and buildings.
Insurance and Buildings. I'm already the Investment Policy Officer.
You are.
So I make a motion to...
You don't have to, because
Okay.
it's yours.
It's mine.
It's all yours.
It's done.
Let it be done. All right. These are merely formalities, but they're very important. Motions to approve our workplace violence and sexual harassment policies for the town. I make a motion to approve both of those policies.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. This next one is a RFP. Do you have that? For what the, I don't have the amount for the engineers.
I don't
It's
either.
up to 7,900.
Is
I
it?
think.
Okay, up to 7.
Range.
Yeah,
It's a range
up
of
to.
63 to 79. Do we need the exact number written in
think
right
so.
now? Yeah.
So we put out an RFP we needed an engineer to sign off on the minor commercial entrance design for Burdick Park. So we put out an RFP to engineers to have that done, and we received 1 response from, do you have the name
It's
of the vendor?
Taconic Engineers?
Taconic Engineers. We received 1 response with a range of pricing from $6,300 to $7,900 to do and provide the substantiated documentation around the New York State DOT minor commercial entrance design for the site plan. So I will make a motion to approve up to $7,900 for Taconic Engineers to formulate the final documentation for the site plan for the minor commercial entrance design.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Terrific. Okay. Next is some resolutions. I'm going to give this one to you, Eric, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Thank you. All right, so Resolution 2A, we have a highway vehicle that was ordered in 2023, the price of which was $352,134.58. We have been putting money away in a highway vehicle reserve fund for many years to accrue for this purchase. The truck arrived in December, and at that time, there were $343,998.67 in that highway reserve account. However, there is enough unappropriated fund balance for the highway to bridge that gap. And so this is a Resolution 2A for a budget modification for the Highway Vehicle Reserve and Highway Fund. So I will read it in its entirety. It is a fun one. I had a fun time writing this. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Stanford adopted the 2026 annual budget on October 22nd, 2025, and whereas the Town Board has determined that certain budgetary adjustments are necessary to properly reflect unanticipated expenditures and/or revenues, and to ensure the continued efficient operation of town services, and whereas the town authorized the purchase of a 2025 International SBA truck in 2023 for $352,134.58. And whereas the board has authorized the expense of a 2025 International SBA truck in 2026 for $352,134.58. Whereas pursuant to New York State Town Law 106 and applicable provisions of the New York State Comptroller's Regulations, the Town Board is authorized to amend the adopted budget by resolution, and whereas such budget amendments do not increase the total appropriations of the adopted budget beyond available revenues and fund balances, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Stanford hereby authorizes the issuance of a manual check of $352,134.58 to Navistar Financial Corporation, care of Bank of America, with the voucher to appear on the March abstract and the following budget amendments to the 2026 budget. Did I didn't tell you all these?
No.
No. I make a motion to approve Resolution 2A.
Second.
I have to do a roll call. Julie Dakota,
Yes.
Charlie Cunningham,
Yes.
Eric Ames,
Yes.
Nathan Labertu absent, Teddy Secor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is a ambulance fund modification. This one is an easy one. When the town adopted the budget in 2025, NDP had owned the ambulance services. They went through a, Empress acquired NDP in December of 2025 after the budget was approved for the $750,000 annual expense. Empress asked to negotiate the contract, which Supervisor Burton had communicated. Those fees went up 2.5%. For a total delta of $18,750. This is a Resolution 2B for a budget modification for the ambulance fund. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Stanford adopted the 2026 annual budget on October 22nd, 2025. And whereas the Town Board has determined that certain budgetary adjustments are necessary to properly reflect unanticipated expenditures and/or revenues, and to ensure the continued efficient operation of town services. And whereas pursuant to New York State Town Law and applicable provisions of the New York State Comptroller's Regulations, the Town Board is authorized to amend the adopted budget by resolution. And whereas the ambulance carrier changed in 2025 and increased the total budget by 2.5%, $18,750. And whereas the New York Class Ambulance Fund ending in 0013 has sufficient funds to cover this additional expense. Now therefore be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Stanford hereby authorizes the town supervisor to make the following budget amendments to the 2026 budget. Increase the appropriations for the ambulance contractual expense. Account number, or not account number, but line number 13-03-4540-40 by $18,750, utilizing existing funds in New York Class Ambulance Fund ending in 0013. I make a motion to approve Resolution 2B.
I'll second it.
Julie Dakota,
Yes.
Charlie Cunningham,
Yes.
Eric Ames,
Yes.
Nathan Labertu absent, Teddy Secor.
Yes.
Okay. The next one, Resolution 2C of 2026. This resolution has to deal with the planning board. The planning board collects escrow deposits from applicants who come to the planning board for minor subdivisions, major subdivisions, site plan realignments, special use permits, and rezonings. The deposit schedule has not been updated in a very long time, and it needed to be updated because costs have increased. The escrow funds are used to pay the town's engineer, third-party engineer who reviews the site plans, and also the funds could be used to pay the town attorney when an attorney is needed for various things like easements and such. So let me read the resolution. Resolution 2C of 2026 to adopt a new Schedule A for the Town of Stanford Planning Board escrow deposit schedule. Whereas the Town of Stanford Planning Board has been using a Schedule A escrow funds table from 2006, 20 years, and has requested that the town board adopt a new rate schedule for their escrow funds. Now be it resolved that the town board approves the planning board's request for an updated escrow fund schedule as follows. Type of application, minor subdivision 1 to 3 lots, the initial deposits increasing to $2,500. Major subdivisions 4 lots or more, the initial deposit increases to $10,000. Lot line realignments is going to increase to $500. Site plans up to 1,000 square feet, the deposit's now going to be $2,500. Up to 1,001 to 10,000 square feet, the deposit's increasing to $5,000. Over 10,000 square feet, the deposit increases to $7,500. Special use permits, the deposit's increasing to $1,500. And rezonings, the deposit's increasing to $3,500. Once the initial deposit is depleted to a certain amount, it has to be redeposited back to the same level of the initial deposit. The foregoing resolution was voted upon with the board members voting as follows.
And who's going to make the motion? Eric?
I make the motion.
A second?
I second.
Okay. Julie Dakota?
Yes.
Charlie Cunningham?
Yes.
Eric Ames?
Yes.
Nathan Birch, absent. Teddy Secor?
Yes.
And just note, the planning board came to us with the update in the deposit schedule,
Correct.
for what it matters.
That's right.
Okay. Number 14, Cornell Cooperative Extension Memorandum of Understanding with the Water Quality Committee. We had pulled out a line budget in the event that we do not receive the grant, but also to bridge us until we hear the grant decision with Cornell Cooperative for up to $1,000. This will pay for any of their retainer services up to the time that we hear the grant decision. And I think she needs that. And then also some supplemental educational workshops that they are going to be doing with the community in the summertime on water quality education. And so this is in the budget already for 2026. And I make a motion to approve the Cornell Cooperative Extension MOU with the Water Quality Committee for up to $1,000.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And you have to sign this and send it back to them?
Yes, I do. I have it. I have not signed it and sent it back yet because we haven't. Yeah. All right, I make a motion to accept the minutes of December 29th, 2025, January 1st, 2020.
Can we do them separately?
Yes, we can.
Only because I think some people won't be here.
That's right.
That's right.
So, the 29th, who was here?
Oh, no, I wasn't here.
I wasn't. No, the 29th I was here, yes.
So we're gonna have to just
Accept them.
accept them.
That's right.
Just like we did for the other December.
Okay.
Yeah. You weren't a board member.
Okay,
Wasn't
for
there.
January
Yep.
1st.
We were all here on January 1st.
Yes.
So things
That's
can be
correct.
normal.
Yes. So I make a motion to approve the minutes from January 1st, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I also make a motion to approve the minutes from January 8th, 2026.
I will second it.
Thank you, Teddy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Fabulous. All right, now we are to the approval of abstracts. We are still paying 2025 in our February abstracts. So I make a motion to approve abstract 2A for current year, February 2026. This is what we are doing right now. General fund, $32,655.52. Highway fund, $68,522.01. Escrow, $1,643. Ambulance, $64,062.50. Second?
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then I will make a motion to approve the abstract 2B for the previous year, 2025, for payments that are issued in 2026 of February. General fund, $18,609.45. Highway fund, $10,138.68. And escrow, $1,044.23.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
We don't have any other items, so I will make a motion to open the second privilege of the floor. I will make a motion to close the second privilege of the floor. I love that. I know. All right, I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second. Aye.
Fabuloso. Aye.
Thank you.
1 hour. 1 hour 10. I figured it'd be about an hour.
Yeah.